This is the BushWhisperer coming at you from the most beautiful penguin sanctuary, southern tip of Africa, Simonstown, Boulders Beach. Impatience. This video is going to be about impatience, what it is, and how we can learn to work with it. There's an uncomfortable sense that comes with the sense of impatience. The shaman in the wild practices the art of patience, patiently observing nature, patiently observing the heart rate, patiently observing the interaction between the beings in nature, patiently observing one's reactions to the experience of waiting. So what is impatience? Let's break the word down. Patience. Pat. Patri. Patrick. That's the name I use when I'm working. It's my second name. And it's my vocational name. The number is correct for the work that I do. It's an old tradition for people to use their second names, their second Christian name, for their vocation, which is what I do, being old school as I am. Patrick comes from patri, comes from pati. Pati is Sanskrit, patri is Latin, which comes from ancient Greek. All of it means father. The word patience is a derivative of these symbols, word symbols. So patience is the power of the masculine. I'm going to be doing a talk with a group of people where we're going to have an open panel discussion later today. This video will be retrospective, weeks retrospective, I'm guessing. But patience is fundamental. Patience is the key to connecting with the masculine archetype within ourselves. The masculine archetype is action, and action comes from within. But patience is how we tame that action. So patience is something that is fundamental to gaining a grounded perspective, gaining wisdom. Wisdom comes from patience. And wisdom is expressed through patience, and wisdom is a patient disposition. So those that are wise are patient. For all things come to those that wait. You've heard that saying. Something fundamental about that. Patience is when the rotation of your energy field is in harmony with the surroundings. You're not vibrating faster or slower, and you're tuning into the flow of the cosmic life force as it flows through you, around you, past you, through the nature, resonating through your world, and your inner vibrational field is in harmony with the vibrational field of the world around you. And as within, so around you, so without, as above, so below. When one is in the state of harmony, one is patient. When there is a disharmony within, there is impatience. Impatience is experienced as irritation. Rotation, rotation. When the rotation isn't working, and we start to reverse and invert our polarities, and the vibrational field isn't in sync with the harmony of the rhythms around us, we become irritated. Some people can irritate us when their frequency of consciousness is not in tune or in harmony with ours, or vice versa. All things are two ways. I should say both. So to understand what irritation is to understand that impatience is an extension of this irritation. And it's a fundamental message from the self, expressing that one is totally disconnected from one's sphere of harmonies. Good morning. And so to understand what impatience is and what irritation is to give you a doorway into patience. One can attune and become patient by observing the rhythms of one's energy field, the rhythm of one's heart. The shaman is always tuning into the rhythms, for the rhythms brings a sense of harmony. The harmony brings the patience ushers in the wisdom, and the wisdom becomes the expression through which patience can be shared. And so the patience brings you into a point of perception and awareness where you don't miss what you're seeing. For the world around us is happening, and it's happening now. It's in a constant state of flux. If you're not paying attention, you won't see what's happening. The shaman pays very patient, very deep attention to every sound, every movement, every animal, every breath of wind, every shift of light. For there is an understanding that guides the fundamental principles of the universe, the intelligent beings that are part of this chain of being, will be expressing themselves through the nuances around oneself in the physical plane. For there truly is a harmony of being expressed. And as the law of polarity dictates, as above truly is as below. So the grasp of this law of polarity can bring one to a state of balance. And balance means that the resonant field and the vibrational field is synchronizing. The parts of the self are synchronizing to become whole. And when one's truly whole, one becomes holy. And holy brings sanctity. Sanctifies the space, sanctifies the consciousness. And the sanctification of the consciousness in the space is what we consider as the expression of wisdom. So realize whenever you're becoming impatient that you've been given an amazing gift, the gift of looking within yourself, the gift of being able to realize that your attunement is off center, that you need to look at the vibrational field, at the rotation of your chakra. You need to observe the irritation and allow the uncomfortableness to settle within yourself. Absorb all the uncomfortableness into yourself. Allow yourself to become like a medium through which it can travel, till all the waves resonate outward and inward, like an ocean of waves. And there comes a point of rest, a perceived point of rest. The perceived point of rest would be compared to if you're traveling on a train and someone else is traveling on a train beside you, and you're standing looking at each other. It looks like you're at rest because you're traveling at the same speed, in the same direction. That's the perceived rest of peace. And the perceived rest of peace is when one is resonating, traveling in the same direction as one's surroundings, with the same speed, the same resonant frequencies, the same rhythm. This is one of the reasons why the shaman adheres to the principle of rhythm so deeply. For the principle of rhythm is what brings us back to the center and allows us to be totally in tune with our surroundings. In the same way, the two people traveling in the same direction at the same speed can be totally in tune with each other, bringing about the appearance of rest, stillness, peace. So patience is an expression of peace. Peace is the domain of the Father, of the masculine principle within us. And peace is what moves us, believe it or not. When the shaman is in a state of trance, deep in the dance, there is the movement around, and the expression of the dance to the outside eyes looks like a busy series of movements and gestures. But within the heart of the shaman, there is a point of rest from whence all of these movements arise. The shaman fixes the consciousness and the awareness in this point of rest, allowing the movement around to radiate outwards. All the disharmonies become the extensions of the movements, for the consciousness is fixed upon the point of harmony. And patience is what guides the movements, you could say. The patience of the heart, the patience of the spirit, becomes the expression from within, and the true impulse is born. So realize next time what patience is. Smash a like button. Share this video if you're getting value from it. And if you want to help me work the algorithms to get this video seen by people. Helps the channel. Recognize that impatience is sort of akin to a mental disease. And we have many mental diseases. And there's a very easy solution, a very fast medicinal route to take. Face the uncomfortable. Become attuned to that which is uncomfortable within yourself. Don't allow the sense of uncomfortable to force you to move. Because when you're being forced to move from the point of uncomfortable, you lose your connection to the holy breath. And the Spirit of the Father gets denied you. When you allow yourself to transcend that and enter into the state of peace and patience, what will move you will be coming from the deepest part of yourself. It will come from the spirit of peace. So realize that life is a journey, though the journey need not be one of confluence, need not be one fighting against the surroundings, reacting to the surroundings. The journey can be one of harmonic resonance, where one's inner is in reflection with the outer, the upper in balance and harmony with the lower, as above so below. And the law of polarity can bring us to this point. And the rhythm can be the guiding factor. So when we allow the law of polarity to be aligned with the principle of rhythm, we find our patience. Do subscribe so you don't miss these daily videos. Have an absolutely gorgeous day. Don't forget to smile, life is very short. Take it easy. Practice the art of patience all the time. You will find that it will reward you beyond your wildest imaginings. And you will become attuned to the depth of peace within yourself. And from the state of peace, joy and harmony will be an automatic response. This is a Bush Whisperer, sharing a few thoughts from Penguin Sanctuary about the nature of patience. Om.